If you are someone who struggles to get through a book or struggles to retain the information even after you've reread an entire section over and over again, then pay attention because I'm going to share some strategies that you should start incorporating to help support your brain and your learning. Starting with how to read. It may seem like common sense or like, yeah, I know how to read through a page, but do you really know how to look at a page filled with blocks of text and not get overwhelmed? If this feels like too much for you, or you feel like your eyes are kind of darting all over the place, you're easily distracted, then the best way to go about dealing with all of this text is to take something like an index card and really block things out for yourself, section by section, even line by line, okay? You do whatever you need to do to get through the text in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming or distracting. And you don't move on until you've stopped to think and reflect back on what you've just read. Now, in addition to supporting yourself visually, what you should start doing is making notes in the book itself, if you can. Now, this is a book that I own, and as you can see, there are a lot of notes that I have made. I've highlighted things, I made numbers, I take extra notes, I put a little star where I should pay closer attention when I'm flipping back through. And as I'm doing this while I'm reading, I'm staying engaged with the text. And that is the most important piece of all, is to be engaged with the material that you're learning. You're not just reading words off of a page and then closing the book and forgetting everything. You need to make sense of what you just read. And sometimes that does mean going back and reading it again. Maybe you read it out loud. Maybe you Google some topics that have come up so that you can get further insights and understanding, so that you can see some more examples. Maybe you take a break from the text because it feels like a lot of data heavy information and you need some extra time to sort through it on your own. That's fine. But whatever it is, you want to engage with the material in a way that makes you feel like you're interacting with it, you're making sense of it, and that you're going to be able to access and remember it later. If you have a book that you don't own, like one from the library, then you're not going to be able to make physical marks in the book. You can use post-it notes or those little sticky tabs while you have the book in your possession, but eventually those things are going to have to come off, right? So the next best thing is to use flashcards. And I know that this may seem like a really tedious thing to do now that we have phones and computers and whatnot, but physically writing things down is the best way to help ingrain and encode the information into your brain. A good way to do this is to put the title of the book at the top, or maybe even the chapter, the section that you're reading, and then you can put quotes or make little notes for yourself here. And then at the end, you'll have an entire stack of note cards that you can easily access and flip through on your own time. Now, if you are someone who prefers to be digital, obviously you can take notes on your phone using the Notes app, using Notion, using Google Sheets. Of course you can. But there is something about taking a pen or pencil and physically writing down what you've read. It really forces you to stop and make sense of the information, to process it. And having something physical in your hand and being away, disconnected from a screen, will also help to reduce distractions, because the more time we have with a screen in front of us while we're trying to do a learning type activity, the easier and more quickly we will get distracted by other things that pop up on our screens, by notifications, by the urge to look something up or quickly check this account, this social media page, that social media page. So by reducing the distractions, we are supporting our brain, we're supporting our learning, we're supporting our attention as best as we possibly can. That doesn't mean you can't take breaks from reading and go access your screens. Of course not. But If you want to stay locked in and you're really struggling to commit to reading something and actually learning it, then try that out and see if it helps. Now, there's obviously a lot more to learning than just these few tips, but this is a good starting point. And if you have any other questions regarding learning and retaining information, building up your knowledge, your vocabulary, your skills, then leave a comment and let me know. And I'll try my best to answer it next time.